Hi everyone. So we're going to do another revision paper regarding like marketing management, human resource management, and the business foundation topics. You can see the source material here. This paper is actually consists of only just two papers, paper out of 40 marks. So you can see Godiva, founded in the 1926 in Brussels, Belgium, by the Trips family who opened their first shop in the Grand Place in Brussels in honor of the legend Lady Godiva. And Godiva currently sells premium chocolate products in over 100 countries. So it's a chocolate manufacturing case that you can see mainly they're manufacturing chocolate, and it's a business organization. Like I think it's a large business organization because they have operated more than 450 shops. Definitely they have definitely 250 employees they have to work. Therefore, definitely they have a large business. So they have e-commerce arm also, like mainly the chocolate products and everything, market expansion they talk about. And then they have about 1,000 employees. Definitely, this is the then I can see it's a large business organization. And then in their rank, the fifth among top competitors. However, Geneva has also problems in certain workshops in China, and they are giving this information. So this is a chocolate manufacturing case study. Let's go to the questions. MCQ question, you can see a production operator applying for a job at Godiva would complete a production operator. So this, when you're applying for a job, you can give at least, the business organization, you can give. Okay, this MCQ number one, production operator applying for a job at Godiva would complete job description, person specification. Now, these are the normally when you're applying for a job, these are the these are the vacancy advertisements. Like when you're in a vacancy advertisement, you can see these are the parts of the vacancy advertisement, job description and specification. But when you're applying for a job, this is the main document you can keep. Actually you can apply is the application form. CV also a document that we are sending from the employee to employer, but this case they have to complete. So at Godiva, the person, anyone who have to complete is the application form. If they ask what is the document they have to submit, that's a CV. So document that we have to submit is a CV. Document we have to complete is the application form. Application form is it's a printed document given by the organization HR recruitment part. So today I'm gonna actually go through HR stuff as well. Second part MCQ. This is the doing 2020 paper. Which one of the following is not an element of marketing mix? Definitely is a easy question. Yes, I can answers also. Marketing mix, not an element is productivity. C. Your answers are correct. C is the correct answer. Product, price, place, and promotion are the main four elements of marketing. So therefore, not an element of marketing mix is productivity. Right. The third question: which type of the training Godiva should use to train a new employees in the first day at work? This is the easy question from training. They ask first day normally they are giving an induction training, which means to familiarize the new worker to the business organization. It's called induction training, not the on the job, not the off the job, not the government schemes. It's an induction program. Right, and the other one, skilled machinist would work in. This is one of the parts of a question. Skilled machinist normally work in, anyone knows, a departmental functions, the departmental roles and roles. Machine operators, they are machinists, they are working in the production department. Answer is D. Okay, part E, which of the following is the main reason why a business would analyze its product life cycle? Is a marketing question. Product life cycle analyzing with the purpose of I got to answer. The product life cycle is giving the stages of the business, like the different phases of the business. They are moving from their production, from the launch, introduction stage to the decline stage. So therefore, mainly you can see they are looking to expand through no, to create advertisement no, to identify the marketing mix no. The last one is answer to identify when an extension strategy might be implemented. Product life cycle, the DIGMST, that development, introduction, growth, maturity, saturation, decline. So these product life cycle stages, you can identify the certain extension strategies also at the end when the business actually dropping their sales. You can find down the extension strategies as well. Right. Here we go, the define concept, define the term redeployment. Define the term redeployment. This kind of one marker definition question. You can move on to the the textbook, the last couple of glossary is there. The redeployment, the definition is you can find out there. Redeployment human resource is a concept. Concept in human resource management. Redeployment means you are moving workers from one department or one workstation to another workstation. This one you can find out even all the definitions, because some people actually finding hard the definition question. It will be challenging. But definition you can see the glossary part, because every paper there are one or two definition questions are there. So redeployment you can see A to Z. A nice glossary is there in your textbook starting from page number 391. You can see the redeployment definition also there. You can see the page number 396. We go through the redeployment definition. You can see there. The redeployment means moving someone or something to a different place or job. Moving someone or something to a different place or job. It can be a human. You are moving from one department to another department. One workstation to another workstation. You can see like that. That's a redeployment. And another HR question: outline the importance of on-the-job training to employees in Godiva. So this case study, you can see the 2020 paper we are discussing Godiva. It's a chocolate manufacturing case study. So they're manufacturing chocolate in Belgium. It's a large business organization. They're asking one of the benefits. Outline question there. Outline one importance of the on-the-job training of employees of Godiva. On-the-job training, there are certain benefits. But here, 1 mark for the benefit, 1 mark for the application. You can say workers are getting the experience from the real working conditions in Godiva. They will learn from the real working materials and like cocoa, or the sugar and the coloring and all the ingredients like cashew nuts, almonds and everything. They know how to handle it. They know how to operate the labs. They know they work in the real working condition. Therefore, that's one import. And also you can see that on-job training will be lesser, like cheaper for the Godiva, because they don't need to provide the artificial environment or artificial, like instructors. They don't need to hire, train, because they are working the under real working conditions. That's the main advantage. So we have to apply the case study. Therefore, they will learn how to make the real chocolate, how to cook the chocolates, and how to package it, how to assemble it, how to put it to the boxes, everything. You can say you can use a case study, case materials, and you can give that an importance with that application. So without application, only 1 mark. Explain question is another HR question. Explain one legal control of employment a business could consider when recruiting new workers. There are a lot. You can see we discuss on legal controls of the human resource management. You can say one, gender discrimination, and explain that, which means the employees should not be treated in favorations, not be given in based on their gender. It's one thing. So therefore, males and females should be treated equally. And you can say another one, you can say Disability Discrimination Act, right? That you can explain after that. Give one act and then explain. You can say Disability Discrimination Act prevents the workers being discriminated based on their ability and disability. So you can see, therefore, they should give the enough opportunities for like normal employees to work there. Access to the workstation, for example, like wheelchair ramps, like that. Give one explanation, like at least 3 sentences in the development. Explain question will be carry 3 marks, but no need of application, right? And another one, it's a 9-mark question. Since 2018, Godiva has expanded rapidly as demand for its products has increased. It has opened up new outlets in different parts of the world, and it has made internal communication within Godiva more difficult. To meet the needs of customers more effectively, Godiva's Chief Executive Officer, Murad, is considering changing company structure. So one is a centralized structure, keeping the whole decision making under one person, one control, and move the decentralized organization structure where you get gonna decentralize. You're giving the power and authority to other people, other departments, and also you are sharing the power. You are not keeping the control under you. So this is actually human resource management topic. When you're keeping one option, take one option and then give 2 advantages and give 2 disadvantages. 9-marker, that's a structure. Now you have to give a definition or a conclusion. So if we take the keep centralized structure, if you give that one, you can say can start with the answer. Option 1 should be selected. Option 1 should be the best one, because option 1 provide centralization, more control for the Murad, the CEO, to get the decisions. So they have, in the mentioned the case study, they have about 450 branches worldwide, and they can get the like a unique right distribution, unique culture they can maintain. And another advantage, you can see the quick decision making on the all together about the production materials like cocoa, ingredients like sugar, the production manufacturing decisions, everything operations can be take a two quick decisions. Like that's one other advantage. Like that, you can give like same standard can maintain the chocolate manufacturing process. It's another advantage like that. But however, the centralized system, you can see Murad will be get more burden and stress, because all the burden will come to the one, because centralized structure will be very good, but very very call it's very stressful for the manager, top manager, because whole decision making process will be, the burden will be upon you. And then you can't use a division of labor that concept, because the centralized system you have to take whole decisions in the business by one person. And as a result, it will be say the Murat Alka will be get more burden. Sometimes there might be sometimes stressful, sometimes there can be like a huge workload to carry out by management. Sometimes communication will be a mess. Sometimes there are sometimes 24 hours you have to open your office hours and everything. Sometimes this like telephone lines and everything must be very busy. And also centralized system, another thing is like there is a demotivation for the junior, the second layer of the management, because they are not getting any motivation to work, and then like they're not making any part of the decision making, because they are not they ignored by the top management, because top management make all decisions. Therefore, the assistants and the other junior managers will demotivate, because there is no progress in their career. There's no autonomy like that. So give it like for the example, that one with the case study material like cocoa, or you can see the rapid development. Yeah, chocolate manufacturing, for that how it will be useful. Different countries, you can see there may be different language barriers, cultural barriers. There must, I can see. So someone can take the option 2, and you can see the advantage, disadvantage of a decentralized structure. But mainly, this is a why we discuss this whole term about the marketing management. You can see the marketing management is right clearly important, like HR. So whatever the topic it comes, marketing or HR, use the same structure, right? Let's go to the other one. So this paper only has 2 questions, like last time paper, because it was set for 40, like a 1 hour paper for 40 minutes, but this time it's a 1.5 hour paper, so 3 questions are there. So to a 2 mark calculation question, they have dark chocolate assortment, cost of production 23, and profit margin is 20%. Calculate the selling price of the above product using cost plus pricing method, right? So it's very easy. First of all, take the profit margin, cost plus, always cost $23 plus 20% of the 23, which is 4.6, and then at that part 23 plus 4.6, the profit margin on cost. So then answer is 23 plus 4.6, answer is $27.6. $27.6. Always show your workings and show the value, the dollar signs and everything. You can write down there. $27.6, right? 6 mark question, analyze the benefits of Godiva using e-tailing as a channel of distribution. Distribution part, right? The promotion distribution, normally we are like this time, we are checking after, like mainly we deduct the pricing, right? So mainly like distribution anyway is important topic in all levels, all level, like retailing, electronic retailing channels like internet and all, how it will be benefit for Godiva, because you can see there is 24/7 operation, like e-tailing from anywhere in the world. You can get the orders in any country. So it's the only thing you had courier part, the delivery part only had to arrange. And then the benefits to Godiva, the orders will be increased, market share will be increased as a result of that. And then low cost for the administration of the, because you don't need to operate brick and mortar stores, like overhead cost can be reduced, because administration cost, staff cost, electricity, everything can be reduced, because it's only you're opening up a market portal through the online internet based business. So there is no overhead cost, running cost, or shop cost, everything. So give that items also like knowledge with the application, to 3 mark for the knowledge, 3 mark for the application. And 12 mark question, the last question, you can see the 12 markers normally we are expecting a definition and 2 advantages and 2 disadvantages and the conclusion. So the difference in 9 mark and 12 mark, you can see only the definition and the conclusion, because the body is normally same, 2 benefits and 2 drawbacks. This case they are asking evaluate the importance of primary market research in allowing Godiva's remaining competitive. Yes, market research is one of the marketing topic. So you can define here what is the primary research, because they're asking importance of not the general market research, primary research. There are 2 types of research, primary and secondary. They're asking primary research only here. So define primary research, give 2 advantages of primary research, 2 disadvantages of primary research, and the conclusion. So I'll give some my model answer. You can see primary research definition. The primary research is the information gathering from the first hand, like this available, like first hand we are finding information which is not available before. So primary research or field research, you can define that. So in order to get the decisions in the market. So in this case, then you can apply the case and give 2 advantage of primary research. The research gathered from primary research is very up to date and accurate, more accurate and more relevant for the Godiva, because the information gathered from the current market at the present context and the present the market, how many chocolates, how many people are there, how many the pricing of the chocolate, etc., etc. You can see that is more up to date. The information gathered about chocolate and in the industry would be very up to date. You can see it's more relevant for the Godiva. Therefore, it's increased the decision making, accuracy of the decision making, such as how many chocolate they had to produce, what is the price range they had to select for the chocolates, the pricing decisions will be accurate. Like that, that's the first advantage. The results are more up to date and accurate. Moreover, you can see the second point, the primary research results are really have a competitive advantage. Like other people don't have that information. So because the privacy and confidentiality. So primary research information is only Godiva possesses. The other chocolate operators like Hershey's and Crispberry, Cadbury, they don't have that information. Therefore, you can compare with other even say similar type of chocolate manufacturers, and you can say it's a competitive advantage. The other chocolate manufacturer doesn't have that information. Therefore, the information gathered is the information is confidential, and there's a competitive advantage. Only Godiva knows that information. However, the now disadvantage, the collecting primary market research to mean competitive, sometimes it's expensive to collect that information, because time consuming and expensive, as you can mention, that's the main drawback of any primary research, because you have to go and you have to do the observations, focus group, everything. It will be time consuming and costly for Godiva. You have to spend some time, and then it's expensive. And another disadvantage is, you can see like example also give like regarding how to find the chocolate, the other people's likes, taste and everything. You have to do like a questionnaire, you have to give, it a bit expensive like that. You kind of like a touch of case study as well, right? However, another second point, you can say primary market research will be it will be sometimes biased. Sometimes the result outcome will be sometimes not accurate. Sometimes sample size may not be enough. So because they're operating like a lot of countries, like, and also 450 branches and counting, and so therefore sometimes they have to it's like a sample sometimes can be biased, or sometimes there can be errors can be happen in primary research. It will be, you can say, the garbage in garbage out model. So if the output is wrong, input is wrong, output also anyway wrong, like that. If chocolate industry sometimes it's very difficult to find. Sometimes you can see the market is widespread. So we have for the primary research Godiva sometimes making a small sample which is not accurate for the business. Like you can mention some disadvantages of that research. And conclusion, you can say, however, you can say this is a large business, they can afford, even though primary research is costly and expensive. Give some solution, try to give some solution for the aforesaid disadvantages. That will be make a good conclusion for your answer. So a lot of students actually ask you, sir, what is conclusion? How to write a good conclusion? So conclusion means actually you can write the solution to the like the problem, the however point that you have mentioned, or you can just make some kind of alternative viewpoint, some recommendation. You can say not only primary research, even the secondary research also they can use, like a mixture of both primary and secondary research will be used like that. Give some kind of suggestion or idea like that, I think you can understand when you're writing a 12 marker, that's how you have to manage, define, and then give the two good point, two bad points, and then give the conclusion. When you're writing conclusion, try to give the solution for the problems you find out, and then give the alternative viewpoint, alternative solution to overcome the problems. So you can say in this case, it's a large business organization. They can afford primary research, and they can give it to like a specialist, like a research company or something, or they can do a primary as well as secondary market research in order to find out the chocolate industry. Like that, you can give a good conclusion. Like so, that's how we are writing that kind of a 12 marker. 12 marker normally you have to write like 2 pages are there. So that's how we end this paper. So it's a small paper last time we gave. Right. So today, in my second part, actually, I just want to go through the human resource management topics as well. Therefore, I'm going to like a brush up your memory in the HR management, HR topics as well, people in business. Mainly, we talk about the communication, right? So communication in business is important. Sometimes we can, right? We can like communication. What are the benefits of the television communicate? What is the like communication methods? Sometimes what is imports of market research, or sometimes for like a communication. Sometimes we talk about the what is the communication channel? What are the different channels of communication, right? So different definitions. Some can upward, downward communications and everything, right? So these things just go through, right? I'm just going to actually quickly refresh your knowledge in the human resource topic. Internal external communication, right? Methods that we can use, like imports of good communication in business organization, right? So talk about the the different bad effect of the poor communication, mistaken of a cost will increase, staff motivation suffer, decision making slow down, everything. And different methods that we discussed, like face-to-face communication methods, written communication methods, good and bad sides. Just go through these things as well. So I have my short notes also. I have already you can see, go through my second term short notes also in the my study materials. I have already given that one, and these things, staff communication, everything. So but keep in mind, mainly you have to go through the marketing stuff, but communication also, human resource. You can see the last time paper also 2020. We can see the like it's like a balance, like a mixture of the HR and marketing topics. You can see and electronic communication. I know that you definitely know the advantage, disadvantages of email communication, mobile phone, social media. Social media as a means of communication, good and bad side of it. Right. And after we talk about mainly the second concept is the barriers of communication. Like we talk about the communication barriers, like lack of clarity, technological breakdowns, poor communication skills. We talk about these are the main disadvantages, barriers to having proper communication. Like jargons, like difficult words if you're using in the middle of a conversation, distractions, business culture, sometimes long chain of command, using wrong medium. These things just go through with the topics we discuss, language barriers and so on, and how to overcome those barriers. Like you can do a proper recruitment in the beginning, you can do a proper training, you can do written communication, you can use a technology, you can reduce the chain of command, you can do more social events, you can organize to people, then you can make more socializing, then communication barriers will remove. And next one, then the recruitment selection, that last part, also we have some MCQs and the written questions also. Recruitment, what are the methods of recruitment, internal recruitment and external recruitment. We talk about the types of employment, full-time workers, part-time workers, right? Job sharing and other types of employment like casual, seasonal employees, temporary employees. So you should know this concept, right? And recruitment, why we need a recruitment, sometimes to cover maternity, paternity leave, sometimes we go to expand the business. And we talk about the stages in the recruitment process, like go through the steps and stages. Identify the vacancy, prepare the job description, person specification, advertising, shortlisting, and interviewing part, and then appointing the best one, providing feedback. So we talk about the recruitment documents, job description, person specification things, right? In MCQ also today we find out, like they're asking what is a document they should complete, right? Not the JD, not the PS. These are the advertising documents. Job description describe the job, like task, duty, and responsibility they are giving, and person specification they are giving the personal attributes to hold a position, like QUESA, qualification, experience, skills, and attitudes of a person they want to find out. So therefore, these are the not of a, like these are mainly part of the job advertising. And we talk about application form. This is the one the employer has to fill. They have to complete when you're starting a job. Like they possible they're asking what is the document that they have to complete. That's application form. So application form, we can gather the same information from everyone, easy to shortlist for the company. And other one is a CV or curriculum vitae. So this is a one that the employee can submit like online, or you can email your CV. We call complete CV. You can upload your CV to the portal, and then they will be concerning about your recruitment CV, curriculum vitae. So these documents are important. That's why I'm just refreshing the knowledge today. And internal external recruitment, you should know what are the methods of internal recruitment, and they are good and bad, right? So sometimes in past papers you can see internal recruitment, external recruitment, 9-mark questions are there in IGCSE past paper questions. And what are the ways of attracting for a job, like advertising, headhunting, word of mouth, employment agencies? You can know direct advertisement methods are there when attracting things, people for organization, and shortlisting process, interview process, everything is there. Just go through, and right. So you should know the good and bad, advantages, disadvantages of the internal recruitment and external recruitment. And on the legal control, that today also we discussed, like explain question of a legal question, legal control when recruiting. So mainly when you're studying this part, like legal controls, actual numbers are not that much important. Act names are important, like gender basis. There are Gender Discrimination Act or Sex Discrimination Act, right? So you can normally these thing acts numbers no need to memorize, like at least Sex Discrimination Act, that is enough. Equal Pay Act, that is enough, like not 1975, not 1975 are not that much needed. And race and religion, Race Relation Act is there. So that means like when you're recruiting workers, you can't discriminate the people on the grounds of religion and their race. So that's called Race Relation Act number 1976. So, and we talk about the workplace discrimination thing, that another way that is a Disability Discrimination Act. We talk about in 1995 Act, which disable discrimination, like we protect the people from by disabling people, like by recruiting. So we talk about how they can fit, they can improve the workplace, like wide indoor, wheelchair ramps, and etc. This once tested is possible, right? So Equality Act 19, so Disability Act, Disability of Physical Mental Impairment Act is 1995. Now they have replaced with that Equality Act of 2010, right? It was before that Disability Discrimination Act 1995. Now they call Equality Act of 2010. Yeah, so these are the things that we discuss. And also legal control, we talk about under sexual preference, age relation things. So these are in past time MCQ questions and everything is there. Like discriminating people on different grounds, like age and the sexual preference, and right, disability, and different things, right? So that's a legal controlling part. And after we talk about the training side, the training also, there are mainly 3 types of training you should know. Induction training, like past papers also we just discussed that, and on the job training and off the job training. Induction training is providing workers in order to just familiarize the worker to the system, the business organization. That's induction training. And induction training orientation program, so you can give these things to the workers, like complete factory tour, health and safety training, and company policy, like dress code and everything. You can teach them company history, like introduction to senior staff, work colleagues. So this is the induction training part. Sometimes in MCQs they can ask, like, what is a part of induction training, what is not a part of induction training, like. So therefore you should know the definition of induction training and the parts of the induction training, as well as on the job training, right? Good and bad. On the job training can do different ways, like you can watch another worker, like you can mentor another person, like coach you can appoint, or job rotation, like banks and a lot of companies are using job rotation, changing the workstations, these things on the job training. And go through this table, good and bad side of the on the job training, which means more points mean, definitely that means they are giving more chance of getting this 9 marker, 12 marker questions because there is more advantages and more disadvantages. And on the job training or is off the job training means you are working that the sending the workers take away that takes place away from the work area. So off job training sometimes output not affected and there is but however no output because employees do not contribute to work like that. Just go through and read what are the good and bad side of the off job training. And also we talk about mainly the benefits of training, limitations of training, just go through those parts. And then importance of motivation theories we talk about. So I just want to recap the motivation theories. That was the most important part we discussed in second term. Motivation is important, like for the workers to be in work. Actually, it's easier to attract employees and easier to retain employees, high labor productivity if you have like motivated staff. And also these are the things. How can business influence motivation? Like, and we talk about Herzberg motivation theory first of all. Herzberg two factors like hygiene factors and motivators. Right? Remember, motivators and hygiene factor theory. Just go through. And second one, we talk about Maslow hierarchy of needs theory. Right? Now Maslow, we talk about different levels of needs like physiological needs, which is like a food, shelter, clothes, warmth, and rest and everything. That's the first one. Like a Maslow hierarchy of needs theory: physiological needs, safety needs, social needs, self-esteem needs, and self-actualization needs. So you must be able to know what is these levels and what are the like Maslow hierarchy, like Herzberg two factors. These things are important. And also health and safety. What is health and safety means? People need to protect. So for example, like a 3-mark like explain question. If they ask what is social needs, what is esteem needs, so you must be able to know what is the social need, esteem need. Like social need means the people are social animals now, therefore which means they have social needs. So people like to communicate and make friends. So if they don't have a social need, what happened to them? Their motivation level going down, right? So like that. So must be know all these factors. Like any question, sometimes can be a 3-marker, 6-marker, can be even 12-marker. Must be able to explain these models, right? Self-actualization is a top, right? Esteem needs, love and belonging, and everything. And the other thing, talk about the other theories, the Taylorism and everything. Normally, like F.W. Taylor, scientific management theory, the final theory we discussed there. Like he talk about the people are motivated by money. After observing mainly his research about 5 years in the Hawthorne experiment in the experiment in USA. After that, he find out mainly that is the most important experiment of the Taylor's management theory, right? So on human resource management, motivational theories, these are the things we discussed: Taylor and Maslow and Herzberg two-factor theory. So it's important. What Taylor's mentioned is mainly everything he wanted to make sure that happen in a scientific way, even using equipments, working procedures, training, everything. And his main weakness is finding out he always telling that the people are motivated by the money. He call always fair day pay for a fair day's work. It's like that. So division of labor, everything actually introduced by this guy, right? F.W. Taylor. So mainly these are the topics actually we discuss mainly in human resource topic, motivation, and where we talk about financial motivation, non-financial motivation. Like the financials are time rate, piece rate, bonus, performance related pay, and all. Commission, bonus, right? Everything. And we talk about fringe benefits also. Fringe benefits, it can be financial or it can be non-financial. Non-financial, mainly we talk about this one, like job rotation, like changing the workstation will be motivated. Job enrichment can be motivational, giving more responsibilities for the worker. Job enrichment, like giving more roles and duties and responsibilities for the worker, right? Know these definitions: what is job enrichment, what is job enlargement, and all. And autonomy is giving more freedom for the worker to work under taking decisions, giving workers the authority to make their choices and decisions. That's called autonomy. That's also motivational, non-financial methods. So after motivation theories in human resource management, talk about organization structure and employees. Remember that 9-mark question just we discussed in the paper is came from centralized structure and decentralized structure, right? Some you should know their organization structure and directors, professional staff, what they do, and then these things: span of control, flat structure, tall structure, delegation, centralized and decentralized. You can see page number 997. Whole advantage and disadvantage summarized, which means it can be a 12 marker or 9 marker. More chance is there. I can see centralized, decentralized. It was there in last year paper, so definitely you can see that this kind of thing like a HR questions are there in the, you can see exams. This kind of topics are very hot, and like these topics are normally in Excel papers also, you can see. And metric structures, we talk about the new models of structures like matrix structures, organization structure development, entrepreneurial structures, and also like metric structure that anyone can work in anywhere. So these things we talk about on the business structures. And finally, in the business model, we talk about mainly the departmental functions. And one MCQ also we talk about like works like a machinist work in which department, like that. What are the departmental functions of the human resource, like planning, training, health and safety, welfare, motivation, and all. Talk about that. Just go through finance department. What are the main functions? Marketing department. What are the main functions? Product planning, advertising, customer relations, and everything. And packaging and everything. So we talk about everything, departmental functions, operation management, what are the functions, everything. So that's all we talk about the human resource management. So today we talk about our main session actually in human resource management sessions, and plus 2020 third term paper also we have discussed. So that's, I think if you go through this, I think you're more confident for the examination. So today main objective was actually finding out the quick recap of the human resource topics. Okay, so that's it.